Kuzuzangpo, this is Radio on TV. I'm Ashok Tirwa. This week we have Sonam Dorji. He is the founder of Mawongpa Water Solutions, and we'll find out more about Sonam Dorji and his company as we take this show forward. Welcome to the show, Sonam Dorji.
Kuzangpo.
So first of all, tell us how did you get into this business of water solutions?
It was back in 2009 when I really wanted to do something which could benefit the society, and meanwhile I could earn myself. So we ventured into water tank cleaning service, and while serving the market, we have come to know that drinking water in Bhutan is not safe at all, and there are common problems all around Bhutan.
Why do you
And
say so?
Because if we look at the current trend that starting from the household, people do not have the tradition to, or people do not care about the water tanks, the storage water tanks, and even if the water is being supplied safely to the storage tanks, if there is any contamination.
What are the sources of contamination?
In contamination, there are three kinds of contamination. One is physical contamination, the other one is chemical contamination, and microbiological contamination. In physical contamination, it is something that we can see, taste, smell, or feel. And in chemical contamination, there are again two types of contamination. It's non-organic and organic chemical contamination. And in Bhutan, these kinds of contamination are very popular because we have a distribution line which is known as GI pipe, and in that we also use chlorine, which has high oxidizing agent. And when we dose chlorine into the water which is being passed through GI pipe, the corrosion will take faster, meaning the corroded pipes can let the bacteria grow into the pipeline also. This is another kind.
So how do you know all this? Did you study, or how did you
Well,
gain
actually,
this kind of knowledge?
2009, when we started water tank cleaning service, it was only the time I started looking into the matters, the problems and solutions of drinking water and wastewater. Actually, I studied BA program myself, and I don't have any relation in this field.
But you don't have an educational background, but as you started working, cleaning the tanks, and then you came across this, is that how you know how the water would get polluted when it's,
when we clean the water tanks, we can see a lot of debris inside the tank. Firstly, the sludge in the bottom, that indicates water has a filth of sediments. Then secondly, when you have the foreign particles settled in the water, we do not know where does that foreign particle comes from. So it could be polluted as well. So looking at that kind of situation, we have gained a motivation to start something that could solve the problems.
okay. Now we have. You said that you also treat two things about water. One is drinking water. The other one is waste water. So let's start with drinking water. How do you provide solutions to provide clean drinking water?
Well, it was quite confusing when we started, because in developed countries it is being taken care by either private companies or by the government, especially the municipal or the ministries. But for us, we could not serve our products and services to the municipal or other ministries or other communities, because they require the huge ones. And whereas we as a startup, we had small filtration plants. But I took it as a challenge to know all the water problems in Bhutan, especially related to drinking. So we have found that sediments is present in the water throughout the year. There is turbidity, especially during monsoon. The municipal, they dose chlorine into the water, which is also harmful for, especially to the kids, to the infrastructure the distribution pipelines. Likewise, when it comes to the bacteria, there are different kinds of bacteria and different. Uh, they contaminate the water seasonally. Like in January, February, March, there is some other bacteria.
For
It's
different
quite
seasons there are-
seasonal, and it also depends upon the geographical locations. Like in Pemagasil or Trongsa, we have heard about a lot of typhoid cases, and in that there is a bacteria called scrub typhus. So likewise, knowing all the problems in the water, we have been able to design something that can provide a temporary measure. We have also branded
What kind of design are you talking about?
we have branded it as a Mawongpa housing filter because we have assembled with all our expertise and all our experience and our knowledge, and it is not something that is being bought from some supplier or manufacturer from India. We buy the components, we assemble according to the water problems.
So for every region, then you have to develop a different equipment to
Yeah,
clean
of
the
course.
drinking water.
If firstly we have to go through the water tested report or the parameters, like what is the hardness. If the water has too much of mineral contents, or if it is hard, then we'll have to do something about it, like using a water softener or RO filter. Then if the water has more sediments, we'll have to use the filtration part, And if the water has more microbes, then we'll have to deal with the disinfectants like chlorine dioxide, UV sterilizer, ozone generator. They are a lot.
Now, with how many institutions or in how many places in Bhutan have you provided the solutions,
Well,
particularly for drinking water?
okay. Like I was mentioning, we started our company in 2009. We had to take like 3 years to understand everything, even the market situation, the market behaviors. Then only we've been able to design that filter.
Can you also work on existing water distribution system that we already have, so that we'll have a better drinking water?
Yeah, actually, currently, the turbidity is one major and common problem in the country.
What is turbidity?
Turbidity is actually, now, I don't want to confuse you, so let me be simple. It's a cloudiness in the water. The more cloudy the water is, there will be more turbidity in the water. So turbidity is not
How is it harmful?
daily problem. Turbidity is harmful in the sense the bacteria, if there is bacteria in the water, the turbidity will help the bacteria to shield them. So in a way, when we use normal dosage of chlorine, that quantity of chlorine will not work for water which has more turbidity. So in a way, during monsoon, I believe our municipal treatment plant, they dose excess chlorine in the water, which is actually harmful. But for them, they panic because they are worried because the turbid water, which has the bacteria and which is being protected, shielded by the turbidity, cannot be killed by the normal usage of the chlorine or any other disinfectants.
So what kind of solutions can you provide to our municipality?
For instance, Thimphu, our treatment plants, I believe they are mostly constructed 20-30 years ago. And I think there is some problem related to the projection. They have constructed the treatment plant according to, assuming a different size of population. But now the population has increased beyond their expectation. So right now, I think that is the number one challenge, especially for Thimphu. Number two, most of the piping distributions, some are even done in 1960s, and they are underground, and most of the households are still using them. So when we use this GI pipe, as I mentioned earlier, it will corrode over a time, and when we use chlorine, it will corrode even faster.
Will it react with the chlorine?
Yeah, actually, when chlorine reacts with,
Let's say iron.
Yeah, iron, it becomes, it forms different byproducts, which is not really good for, I mean, the human health or maybe for the infrastructure.
So what should be done before we start panicking people in Thimphu and elsewhere in the country? What can be done?
I'm planning to approach our government, especially to talk on this, because if we don't solve this problem, we will face a lot of other problems. So my suggestion would be, we have a small filters that can filter out sediments, turbidity, a small amount of turbidity, then rust particles, chlorine or other chemical impurities, then UV sterilizer to sterilize the water instantly. Now my ideology is to propose government to, firstly, I think we need some policies in place, because if there would have been policies, I think right now we may not face
Have problems
such
that we have.
problems. So since we don't have the policies, that is becoming a problem, and if we don't maintain it or regularize it, it is going to. I mean,
What
the
kind of
problem is
policies
going
are
to
you talking about?
increase. Policy in the
What
sense,
should be included?
right now, most of the in Thimphu, I think most of the population are the tenants, not the house owners, and currently any of the tenants do not have the right to ask their owner if our water is safe enough to drink or use. And if they do so, I think it's going to be another problem.
Evicted, okay.
Yeah. So my suggestion would be, if government could integrate
A
or
policy
mandate.
where a house owner should have a plant of their own or something like that.
I think house owner, I think they have to be forced. So for that, government might have to play a vital role in that by integrating or mandating water testing and showing the result, testing water and showing the result to their tenants. So it should be done either monthly or quarterly, or maybe biannually or annually, but it has to be done, I think.
No, but why should a house owner do that when all the tenants are paying charges for water usage to the municipal authority?
I think that is something to
Who
do with.
should then?
I think that is something to
Take it
do with the responsibility. There are some house owners who are very concerned about their tenants, and we have so many clients in Thimphu itself. They have been using
Who
our
have
filters.
installed filters,
and they are not charging anything from their tenant also. But whereas in other side, I have been meeting a lot of house owners and asking them some suggestions, but they are not willing to invest on that. And in between, I thought now house owners are not being responsible because they are not aware of safe drinking water. But in the meantime, our government is spending a lot of money into medical expenses to treat waterborne diseases. Likewise, we are importing a lot of mineral water bottles. 1 liter bottle PET granule costs 5. Likewise, it can be a threat to our national occupational safety also.
Now you also treat wastewater. So how do you do it?
Actually, to be honest, we have just introduced some products on wastewater treatment. We have introduced 2 years ago, but we couldn't install even one in any sites because number one, the wastewater treatments purchased by the municipal or the governments are quite huge, and in that they directly invite tender to the contractors, in which we are not. In the other way, my core intention was to help the hoteliers, hoteliers and other industries, because currently they have to invest about 2, 3, 4 millions for a simple wastewater treatment plant. So, looking at the regulations of NEC, like there is something called BOD and COD, bio-oxygen demand and chemical oxygen demand in wastewater. And actually the NEC, they regulate all of this. And I think they make sure they test the water, and if the water has more BOD and COD, which is beyond their limitation or their regulation, then they are supposed to fine them. So I thought most of the hoteliers do not have that, and
They don't have the treatment plant?
the wastewater treatment plant,
Okay.
or a sewage treatment plant.
And at the same time, there's the absence of,
I think
nobody's
so.
regulating it.
I think so. That could be a problem, because I have been approaching so many big hotels, and I was telling them, okay, we have this new technology, and we don't need to have more tanks also, and this sewage treatment can be done starting from your septic tank, existing septic tank, and it won't even cost much. But then their response is, we are actually regularized by NEC, but they are not monitoring right now. So if in case they come to us and maybe impose a fine for not following their regulations, then only I might come to you. Otherwise, I don't think it's a problem. So, but when I see that, it's a big problem, because our country is in a mountainous place. Most of the hotels are located in the
Hilltops.
hilltops,
Out there.
and when you release those waste into the land, it can be used by even the villages, the households, even the animals. They'll get sick. Even the aquatic lives, like fish and all. If you have visited the Olarongchu workshop infrastructure area, and if you can see that wastewater releasing from that collection chamber, you can most of the time you can see a filthy black water flowing into the stream. And it was back in 2011. I made an issue out of it. I asked the team of municipal Thimpu Thomde to do something about it, but their reaction was, we are out of budget. Then I said, okay, if this is the problem, I think we can solve it, because there is something called payment for environment service, and I have no clear idea about that, but as per my feeling, I thought, since that wastewater is already polluting the streams and rivers, it's better to have a treatment plant, and then maybe the end users, I mean the workshop owners, to maybe pay a minimal charge to us, so that we can sustain the treatment plant. But their environment officer was not really keen about it, because he feels that those polluted, I mean the waste, will be diluted easily in the river. So actually my notion is, if we have 50 to 100 infrastructure of automobile workshop, I mean kind of automobile workshop, till Chunzom, and if we have all environment officers like him, and I was actually telling him also that Thimpu river will literally look black and polluted.
Will it be diluted?
I don't think so. It would be diluted, but in the end, it will deposit in the, maybe in the ocean or river. But on the way, I think there are so many aquatic lives, and I think we'll have to care about them also.
So looks like, as you were trying to establish this company called Mawongpa Water Solutions, it looks like you have faced a lot of challenges, but how did you overcome? How did you deal with that?
The excitement of solving this problem was bigger than the challenges that I had, to be honest, because if I could make a Thimphu, Bhutan, safe drinking water place, even from any taps, that is going to be another achievement for me.
Your contribution
In the
to
end
the
of the day, I
society,
think
yeah.
it's not just about the money. I think it's about doing something that can ease people's life. Like, for an instance, Eddie Thomason, he invented electricity, and in a way, right now he's no more there. But I think the entire world is jubilating his, hard work, and the life has become easier for us. Like Steve Jobs, he has a different objective, that I want to create a product that is different, that is very reliable to the customer, and he did it. And again, likewise, there are people who even invented aeroplane. So I think comparing to them, my challenges were not that big, and even the solution were not that great. So the challenges are nothing for me.
So, as an entrepreneur, financially, how are you doing?
Right now, to be honest, we are doing very good. We have a very good team, even technical and inside the back office. Since 2013, we have started to gain the momentum again, because from 2009 to 12, we have been confused in the market. And after creating something that is useful for the society or the market, we are a bit comfortable. We have started introducing it to schools, residents, institutes, industries, even some dairy farmers are benefiting it. And I think it's improving now. For 2014, we could pay a good amount of tax, so that indicates we are going on a right way and on a better way.
I think it would be very right. Like, I have come across some young entrepreneurs who are trying to do something at one point of time, and later, because they faced too many challenges and they couldn't do it, so it looks like they have given up, and then they are trying to do something else. What do you have to say to those people?
Oh, well, I think challenges should be taken in a positive way, I guess. Because if you look at a negative way, if I have looked in a negative way, I would have given up back in 2009. Challenges, if we could take challenges as our new lesson, that will make us wise, I guess. So otherwise, if we are to escape, the bigger challenges, then I don't think we could grow beyond that.
So, on that note, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us and sharing your story and your whole idea of contributing to the society through this Mawongpa Water Solutions. And thank you once again. And this has been Radio on TV. I'm Ashok Tirwa, and I'd like to say goodbye for now.